Hello, genealogists. It's Craig again with Just Genealogy. Today I thought I'd talk to you about missing friends and the Boston pilot. It appears that in about 1983, Ruth Ann Harris and Donald Jacobs of Northeastern University History Department decided that it would be a good idea to index the many thousands of Irish American immigrant missing friends advertisements that appeared in the Boston pilot between 1831 and 1916. So on the 1st of October of 1831, there was the following notice which appeared on an inner page of a Boston newspaper. Patrick McDermott, a native of the County Kildare, and who was married in Kingston near Dublin, is hereby informed that his wife and 4 children have arrived in Boston. They understand that he left Roxbury in this state about 12 months since to obtain work as a stonemason. They are extremely anxious to hear from him. He is thereby requested to write or come for his poor family to this city as soon as possible. Well, that was the first advertisement that would appear in the Boston pilot. So what we're basically talking about is searching for Irish missing family, kin, and friends. Now, I'm not talking about the Boston Pilots Association, which exists in Boston. Those are the guys that run ships in the harbor back and forth between the docks and where they belong, and they have a website too. What I'm actually talking about is the 8 volumes of In Search for Missing Friends, Irish Immigrant Advertisements placed in the Boston Pilot. This was a project originally of the university, but then they partnered up with New England Historic Genealogical Society, and they published the 8 volumes. Over the years, various groups of individuals, corporations, have taken that information and created databases out of it. The Ancestry set you can get to by just plugging in missing friends into the title search in the card catalog, and it will take you to a interface that will allow you to get to the various volumes. You can browse it, you can search by name. I recommend that you take the time to read the introduction that's in one of the volumes so that you can get a full flavor about what's going on here. So what I did in the Ancestry set is I searched for John Manning. There were about 19 entries, and I looked for some of those since my Irish ancestor is John Manning. And then we have John Manning of Lahard, parish of Ballyrustig, county of Cork, who came to this country 21 or 22 years ago. When last heard of 5 years ago, he was in the state of Michigan. Any information of him, dead or alive, will be thankfully received by his brother Thomas Manning, 44, Lucerne County, Pennsylvania. So that's one John Manning, not mine. And then there's a John Manning of Balbucturich, parish of Ferrier, County Kerry, who was also last heard from in Lynn, Massachusetts 3 years ago last October. Please address his sister Mary, care of John Houlihan, Knoxville, Knox County, East Tennessee. Not mine either, but that doesn't make much difference. One of the things that you have to look at when you look at this is you have to back up far enough to see what the date is. So this information on this last John Manning was found in the Boston Pilot on the 23rd of June of 1855. So these aren't original records. And I have this thing about original records, meaning I want to see what the original record said. So I went looking for the Boston Pilot. And in fact, several issues of the Boston Pilot are available. And this is the header for Saturday, June 23rd, 1855, the newspaper which John Manning was found in. And there's a column that's called Information Wanted. And basically it says that advertisements under this head are inserted 3 times for $1. The great circulation of the pilot renders it the best medium through which to make inquiries about lost friends. More than 3/4 of those advertised for are found. That may be puffery. Persons wishing their friends advertised can send us $1 enclosed in a letter with the advertisement written as legible as possible in order that no mistakes may be made by the printer. blows it up just a little bit. So I was able to find Boston newspapers in the Boston College libraries, and they have a collection of the Boston Pilot that goes from 1836 to 1857 in two series, the second series being 1838 to 1857. Unfortunately, it doesn't go all the way the full range of missing friends, but it's some of them. So here we see the page. Let me blow it up a little bit. Here we see on page 8 in the advertisements, column 6, there is of John Manning of Balbrook, parish of Furritor, who was last heard from in Lynn, Massachusetts. So this is the original out of the Boston Pilot, which is always where you want to go. You want to go find the original record. I don't think we'll be able to find that letter that enclosed that dollar for those 3 entries. But here is John Manning. Now, there are other places that we can find this. Find My Past has the Boston Pilot newspaper information 1 adds up. And of course, American Ancestors has their database also. Don't forget, they're the people who publish the books. The books are also available in hardback on Amazon. Some new ones are still available. I have an almost full set of the 8 volumes myself. And then they now do a paperback version that is print on demand. So it takes several weeks to get if you're interested in the paper copies. So if we look for John Manning in the American Ancestors database, we come up with him showing up there. All 19 will show up eventually. So just a short one today. Since somebody asked me about missing friends, I thought I'd talk about it. I especially enjoy the Boston Pilot. Boston Pilot is probably the oldest Catholic newspaper in the United States. If somebody died in Ireland of some repute, it probably is in the Boston Pilot. If somebody goes to Ireland to visit somebody, it's probably in the Boston Pilot. If somebody comes from Ireland to visit somebody here, it's probably in the Boston Pilot. Lots of news, lots of names. The Boston Pilot is great. And especially given that the Boston College setup is somewhat searchable, it's a lot of fun too. So if you can hone in on a date and go read that newspaper for that day, it's only 8 pages or so. You might be able to get information that you're looking for, especially if you're dealing with an Irish Catholic. So this has been Craig with Just Genealogy, converting people doing genealogy into genealogists day by day. Don't forget to search out that original record. Don't rely on databases. Don't rely on indexes. Find the original record. Thank you so much. Please subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Click that button so you're notified every noon when we provide you with a new Just Genealogy session. Appreciate you all. Have a great day.